Hi, and welcome to Allot on Air. During the next 10 minutes, we'll be meeting with industry experts to discuss the hottest trends in telecom, cybersecurity, and network intelligence. I'm Seth Greenberg, Director of Corporate Communications at Allot, and joining us today in the Allot on Air studio is Itay Glick, Associate Vice President for Product Management of Network and Cloud Security Products at Allot. Hello, how are you doing, Itay?
Hi, Seth. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
You doing all right today?
Very good. Thank you.
Fantastic. Glad to have you. I want to get right into it. So I understand your title, but what is it that you actually do?
So I'm the product manager for a set of products which are in the area of network security. And in our context, a network security is a security for the carrier service provider network. So I'm working on DDoS security. I'm working on botnet mitigation, preventing weaponization of devices, and I'm also working on IoT devices and protecting them from malicious actors. In general, all of these items connects to the 5G network and then the new deployments that we are seeing around the world of 5G.
Okay, so 5G, there's a buzzword. There's something that everyone wants to hear about. Can you tell me about how's the global 5G deployment going right now, and what effects is that having on the CSPs and how they're operating?
So we actually see a lot of traction for 5G today. We see many different organizations or carrier service providers starting to deploy the 5G and have their plans set up for establishing the 5G network. So there is a lot of things going on, specifically in the area of North America, developed Asia Pacific region, and West Europe.
Okay, and what's creating all the excitement about 5G?
So I think the 5G technology is very exciting for everyone here, specifically in the new norm or in the COVID era. We can use this technology to our advantage to create, for example, unique sessions of sports, for example, to train together. There are a bunch of applications that utilize the unique capabilities of the 5G, like low latency and high bandwidth, to enhance the user experience, to give him a more vivid, lively experience when he's doing things, sports. But also, you get the augmented reality, you get the autonomous vehicle, you get telemedicine. So all of these things could be improved and enhanced because of the 5G technology.
And do we have an idea of when these things are going to be the new normal, or is that just sort of a guess?
So we see in the US that things are actually in progress very well. T-Mobile, AT&T, Verizon, and a bunch of other carrier service provider are already deploying the network. Also in Israel, there was seen some news about that just recently. So we think that this will be very fast.
Okay, we're still really just getting started.
Yes.
Okay, so probably because we're just getting started, the operators haven't really seen all of the problems that they're going to be facing with this. Can you give me an idea of what they can expect? What kind of problems and challenges they're going to be expecting from 5G?
So the operators would have multiple challenges. First, this is based on a new technology. All of the network is eventually containerized network, and they need to plan for it. They need to have the right tools to manage it. And for me, most of the important stuff are, of course, security. They need to plan for security in this network because the mass amount of IoT devices that they would have could jeopardize their network or others' network and create a bad reputation for the CSP. So they need to plan how they put security in place, how they deploy it into the entire network. And now instead of multiple breakouts to the internet, they would have thousands of breakouts to the internet. So they need to take care of each and every internet connection outside. So they really need to plan for security.
And this is all doable? I mean, this is something that they're going to be able to handle?
So I think that the good ones, the big ones, are already thinking about security. They keep it in mind. There are a few good solutions. Of course, Allot is one of them to protect the the carrier service provider user plane, as we call it.
So the technology, the solutions are already out there, even though the problems haven't all been.
Well,
they're coming up.
Yes.
They're coming up. All right. So what else do we see? What's coming up? What are the trends that CSPs are seeing coming up in the near future?
So one more thing that the CSP would have in 5G is what's called ultra reliable low latency communication.
Mm-hmm.
This would allow subscribers to get an SLA, meaning a service level agreement of less than a second. And this implies that the entire solution should be much more critical aware, meaning you need to make sure that your specific application, if it's critical, is marked that way in the CSP, so it will actually be the one that gets priority over each and every protocol there. Okay, so this is another trend that is very important and very useful for the carrier service provider, and at the end, of course, enhancing the user experience.
Okay, so user experience is something that's really on your mind here when it comes to 5G as well.
You always need to think about the subscriber at the end and the application that he is utilizing in his IoT device.
All right, so sort of switching gears here, but also in the user experience world. I know that you've written recently in a blog about DDoS, and just wondering what you can tell me about. Why are you so concerned? I mean, is this? Do you think that the CSPs share that concern? Is it such a big issue for CSPs, the DDoS attacks, and where is that going?
I think that DDoS attack is a big threat for CSPs and for enterprises and organizations. It could eventually take your site down, take your network down quite easily today. And we've seen constantly such attacks going on. If we had the Mirai about 2-3 years ago, okay, this was just an example of what could happen. And the more IoT devices would be in the world, the more attacks there would be, or the size of the attacks would get bigger and bigger. And when you have multiple breakouts to the internet, you need to make sure that each one is protected, okay? Because the attacker can come in from different places and try to do this attack from multiple places.
Okay. And so is there something, are there other types of dangers that you're concerned about other than DDoS that you deal with on a regular daily basis?
Well, of course, the IoT devices that are there in the network are very problematic. You need to constantly monitor them, see who they're talking to. You don't want build dispute with your customer, so you need to verify what is the traffic that they're doing, and if somebody attacks them just to create problems in your network, you need to take care of it. You need to see if they're patched. So a lot of areas are here we need to constantly take care of. So IoT devices, and at the end, you want to be able to immediately fix and address any security event, whether it's by integration to the SIEM or the SOAR platform that the customer has, or if it is to actually block the traffic immediately. And for that, you need to be inline or inline, seeing all the packets and being able to react to them in real time.
Okay, you said something about billing, and just maybe you can go back to that again.
Okay.
What does IoT have to do with bill surprises or bill shock?
Bill disputes.
Bill disputes.
If you have an IoT device, it might be a subscriber that paid for specific amount of traffic, or pay per go. So when an attacker wants to create a problem for me, it just sends packets to that IoT device without trying to attack it. And at the end, since the customer didn't initiate the communication, somebody else did, is being billed for that specific
for the traffic.
And this creates a bad reputation and the problems for the organization that constantly need to either reduce the payment, and instead of reducing the payment, they could just put the right system in place that will protect them from that.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's an angle that maybe a lot of people hadn't thought of.
Well, attackers think of everything.
Attackers think of it. You got to think of how to defend yourself against them. So, All right. I guess I'm going to ask you one last question, more of a friendly question, I hope. And you guys are doing all kinds of good things to help operators and to help enterprises. What kind of impact would you like you and your team to have on the world?
So I would love that our system would be implemented in 5G carrier service providers around the world. We are already there in a few places. We need to be more, and providing the best network security that is possible with a complete suite of products integrated together for the operator.
Okay. All right. We're about out of time, so I just want to say thank you to Itay. Thank you for joining us today. It was
Thank you.
Itay Glick, who's the Associate Vice President for Product Management of Network and Cloud Security Products at Allot. We'll see you next time. All right.
Thank
Thanks
you
for
very
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
That's it for today's episode. Thanks for listening. You can get more information about network intelligence and security solutions for service providers and enterprises on our website at allot.com. Subscribe to this podcast to make sure you hear about new trends and technologies on the next episode of Allot on Air.